experience for me. I got a chance to really understand the region and our communities in a much more deeper way. And since then, too, we've launched our 10 parish comprehensive economic development plan, one of the first real in-depth strategic plan that we've had in a region. We did that on 318 Day. Was excited to do that. And you might remember that plan is really anchored on 4 pillars of opportunity. The first one is really elevating your regional economic development organization. The know-how, the understanding of what we're doing in economic development to elevate our success, to elevate the opportunities that we have, that I believe that we have in this region. And that first one is really elevating the work that we do, elevating the organization so we can be effective. And then the second pillar is really the work itself, the way that we go about economic development. There are 16 practice areas of economic development. Now, you can't be all things to all people, but the reality of it is that when you're the designated regional economic development organization, you've got to have an understanding of all 16. And when are you going to deploy that specialty, that understanding in your communities, working with your government partners, working with your business leaders? And we're going to be much more proactive on that front. In fact, we already are, and hopefully you all have been seeing some of that work. Because really, at the end of the day, my focus every morning is how are we creating opportunities, how are we helping to create jobs, and how are we recruiting more capital investment. That is my focus, that is my job, and that's what this regional economic development organization is centered in all the time. Now, at the same time that I say that to you, I recognize that we also can't be a one-trick pony. Economic development is much more than just a job announcement. It's much more than just one company. It has to be holistic. We have to look at quality of life. We have to look at infrastructure. We have to look at quality of place. We have to look at workforce training and education. When you're doing economic development, you got to also recognize that you can recruit all the jobs you want. You can help the existing businesses expand, but if they don't want to live here, that could be a problem. And so understanding the importance of those issues is critical to economic development, and we're going to continue to do that. And then third is that strategic initiatives and partnerships. It's about strengthening the relationships that we have with our partners, including our government partners, recognizing what we can do as the regional economic development organization to leverage, to help expand vision and mission, to make sure that we are being good partners, that we are elevating the engagement that we have and being good collaborators. And then fourth, which I think is also very important for Central Louisiana, and that's about changing the narrative. It certainly has not been lost on me in the course of now me being here a full year to understand we have a lot more work to do to educate our own people about the good things that are happening, about why it is a good place to be in Central Louisiana, why it does matter being in Rapides and Alexandria and Pineville, why we are the economic anchor for this entire part of the state. We got to take more pride in ourselves and our community, and we got to make sure we're telling our own story instead of letting other people tell our story. And certainly those people who want to drop in the dark of night and take a video camera and take pictures of some of the worst parts of our community. Will you name me one city in America that doesn't have challenges, that doesn't have a few headwinds? Does it mean that we don't recognize them, that we don't understand that they exist, and that we need to continue to double down on strategies to make sure that we are investing in areas of our community that need it? But to come and to try to take advantage of that in a negative way, no. No, I'm a big believer as a practicing economic developer. You're going to punch my community, I'm going to punch you back. And that's exactly what we're doing, and we're going to continue to do it to create our own narrative about our people and our community, because we want to make sure people understand this is a special place, and we've got the right kind of assets and the right kind of people to even be more successful. And we're going to continue to do that. Just want to share with you a couple of other things just in the context of the last year. I've truly been flying and building the plane at the same time. This has been a full retool and a reboot of the Regional Economic Development Organization. And while we've been kind of retooling the organization to elevate our subject matter expertise and the technical work, I think it's important to kind of share with you that in that time period, $4.2 billion of new capital investment, that but for the work that we're doing, but for the collaboration and the technical expertise and leading on projects that have come to us either through LED or through our other partners like CLECO and our other partners around the region, that is a pretty significant number. Obviously, the data center is a big part of that. But I would also share with you, in the context of me just sharing some information with you, that we've actually had $3.15 billion of expansion work that we've also been facilitating throughout the 10 parishes below the radar screen without a lot of fanfare because of the technical work that is required to do that. We've got almost 622 million of expansion projects that we're working right now that are active projects that we haven't announced yet. So there is activity going on. There are good things happening. The pipeline continues to be robust because we're being proactive. We're not sitting back and waiting. Nobody's going to come and save us. We got to make sure that we're doing our part to position Alexandria and Pineville and Rapides Parish and all 10 parishes to capture the opportunities when they come to us. And I think one of my messages tonight is that, one, know that I'm here to be a partner, that I want to be a collaborator with you, because quite frankly, I believe one of my directives is to not just be your chief economic development officer, your chief advisor, but also your chief promoter and your chief partner. So you invite me in, I'll be here. I don't invite myself because we serve 10 parishes. Our office is here. We're happy to collaborate. We want a partner, and all you got to do is invite me to the table, and I'm happy to be a part of it. And I'm also thankful for the relationship and the partnership that we have with the city of Alexandria. You all have been super supportive on many of our endeavors in the year that I've been here. I appreciate that a great deal. Most recently with what we call Project Jerry, now that you all know as Coca-Cola bottling. We're very excited about that project. $106 million of new investment, almost $5.8 million in new payroll, almost $26 million of new taxes will be coming in the door because of that project. And it will have a direct impact, a positive impact on the city and the parish and the area that it's expanding in. And I'm very excited about that. Let me also share with you that here's kind of where we are from an economic landscape across the region and the contribution that Alexandria makes to that landscape. You know, we're about an $18.8 billion GDP in all 10 parishes. And for the Alexandria Metro, we are the economic anchor. Alexandria is the economic anchor, supporting over 69,000 jobs just in Alexandria. You're 8.3 billion of our regional economy. You're supporting major industry sectors from wood products, chemicals, electrical equipment, manufacturing, machinery is all based right here. Now, areas for us that we're still paying attention to, you might have seen some of this in the news lately. We're really focused on labor participation. We've got about a 59% labor participation right now, and we've got to double down on that. We've seen an uptick in the state. We've seen some improvement, but guess what? We have not seen that improvement here. We got to do everything we can to make sure we're working strategically, intentionally, in a collaborative fashion to bring strategies to the table to deal with labor participation. We can't afford to let one person be on the sidelines. We need the workforce. We have an amazing skilled workforce right now, but we have to add to it. And that is a major area for us in economic development because it will have a huge impact on every one of our communities, particularly for Rapides Parish, because we are the economic anchor for the entire region. And we need everybody. We need all people having an opportunity to take part in the new jobs that are being created and to see opportunities fulfilled for their families. And that is a big commitment that we have moving forward. I think I'd also just share with you that as we look to the future, our focus is not going to change. It is about implementing our strategic plan. You're going to find with me that I am very focused. You don't do those plans. You don't go through that exercise. You don't hear from the public. You don't hear from your community leaders and business leaders and then put it on the shelf and just keep doing what you've been doing. I think we've heard the old saying, you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting. And we can't keep doing that.
Right.
And that's why I'm here. I'm not here to accept status quo. I'm not here to accept complacency. And I will challenge complacency because it's part of my job to do that. This is an amazing place. We have tremendous assets, and I believe that we can compete. In fact, we're doing it. We are competing. While we're building an organization even to do more, because we're not going to be passive. We're going to go out, we're going to put the pads on, we're going to get in the field, and we're going to compete to the strongest of our ability. And so we're going to continue to do that. You know, I also love sharing sometimes with communities, particularly when you're the economic anchor. I just want to share a couple more numbers as I kind of round out, Mr. Chairman, and I'll sit down because I obviously don't want to dominate your agenda. But I certainly want to give you a little bit of an appreciation of the contribution that Alexandria makes. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, about 6 major sectors that we follow pretty consistently. Healthcare, manufacturing, the agricultural space, defense, aerospace. Speaking about aerospace, maybe you all saw that small little announcement that the state made this morning, having to do with some rockets going to outer space. Well, let me put that in perspective a little bit, because we've been saying transformational as it relates to the data center. And that's really a $3.2 billion project that will ultimately be almost $7 billion to $10 billion once it's fully realized. If you have a 5-year-old or a 7-year-old at home and you ask them, hey, will you start counting from 1 all the way to a billion? Anybody want to take a guess on how long it will take them to count to a billion? Even taking in breaks, taking considerations, but for every minute that is available for that 7-year-old to count to a billion, 32 years for that young person to count to a billion. And our data center project is 7 billion. The SpaceX announcement was 100 billion. The state of Louisiana's state budget is 4750 billion. This one project is 100 billion. Needless to say that in the next 10 years, 11,000 jobs is going to have a transformational catalytic opportunity for the entire state. Now, why am I bringing that up to you? Because from where I'm sitting, recognizing that we have about 1,500 indirect aerospace jobs that's supported in Alexandria, Pineville alone. And then when you add the defense, which is one of our biggest impacts to our local economy, we're actually setting, I think, in a very strategic position to take advantage of that type of announcement. Because the industry clusters that support that, we are well positioned for. When it comes to metal fabrication, when it comes to adhesives, plastics, you have an entire industry cluster. And with our geographical location being out of the hurricane zone, I believe it's going to open up some more opportunities for us to recruit new capital investment in the aerospace specifically, because you're already contributing to that industry sector now. And we have room. We have the location and sites. In fact, I'm so excited to let you know that now we have been brought in to help with the redevelopment of the old IP site. That is probably going to end up being one of the top 5 industrial manufacturing sites in the entire state. And now economic development is leading from the front on the redevelopment of one of the state's top industrial sites in the entire state, opening us up for opportunities in aerospace manufacturing, secondary supply chain manufacturing. I am so excited. I'm trying to kind of regulate my enthusiasm because this announcement is so timely with everything else that's happening. We have an amazing flywheel effect that's going on here in central Louisiana. And so I just want to say thank you for letting me come and just have a couple of minutes to report on what we're doing. We're not going to slow down. In fact, we're building the team. I've got a new team member with me now, my new Vice President for Strategic Initiatives and Partnership, Lindsay Green. She's added tremendous capacity. We're going to continue to build the organization because when you call on me, I want to be ready. I want to be responsive. And I am committed to your mission and your vision. And I'll certainly open myself up to questions.
In your forecasting of needs, what skill sets are we down in and need to develop?
We need all the welders we can get. We need all the pipe fitters. We need all the electricians. We need all the computer programmers. And here's what's kind of neat. Not only do we need the traditional four-year track, but we also need those stackable credentials. We also need the trades in ways that we have not seen in decades. With all the projects that we have in the pipeline, with the projects that are in the construction phase, we need to double down on that. Even when the data center is fully operational, those jobs still fall into HVAC, security, computer programming, and these are unbelievable. 215 of those jobs are going to be making $91,000 or more. Not with a four-year college degree, with stackable credentials. Pretty important.
Mr. Masingill.
We can't produce enough.
All right.
Yes, sir.
Has the trade school been notified of this new announcement, and are they going to be responding accordingly?
The whole state is responding. In fact, this is a great example of Governor Landry's whole of government. They've been working very strategically. Now for us, our focus has still been on elevating the trades just because of our own projects that we have right here. But we know we're going to be in a position to do more, and we need more. We need to scale programs in ways that we hadn't even thought about.
Now, can you give me some of the pros and cons about the data center?
Yeah.
Give those to me.
So the cons, I'd be hard pressed outside of, I think what typically happens is that particularly in the landscape that we're in, folks have taken a lot of misinformation, particularly the stuff that they found on the internet while they're going through ChatGPT and others, which is a little ironic because you're supporting the data center operations. It's not going away. In fact, what research is telling us, forecasters are telling us, we're not even scratching the surface with the high compute need that we need, not only from a national security standpoint, but just building the infrastructure we need to maintain the demand that we have. These phones that are in your pocket are more powerful now than they ever have been, and that's not going to stop. I think the areas that people, I think, oftentimes get a lot of misinformation is utilities. It's going to come back onto the ratepayers. That is not the case. Applied Digital is paying for 100% of the added infrastructure for the utility costs. That is not coming back onto the ratepayer. The second most widely question that we get is on the water use. Well, the water use is actually the equivalent of about a half a dozen homes because it's being used for the employees' bathrooms and break rooms, et cetera. It's not, that's right. It is a loop system that they bring in, and minimal water use as it relates to what even some folks have experienced in the first couple of generations of data centers. Yes, there are some data centers that the technology, they used a lot of water, but that's not the case now with the next gen of the data centers. The other one is particularly sometimes communities are, they ask a lot of questions about housing. And we try to actually provide information. Hey, are you prepared for the influx of housing, particularly on construction? Do you have the right ordinances in place, the right regs in place for temporary housing, work camps, et cetera? We're actually seeing that pretty smooth here. We have not heard of any major issues as it relates to that, which is a good thing. In fact, we've actually heard from your hotelers that rooms in blocks are booked out for the next 3 years. I wish we had more hotels right now. We could fill every one of them. Yes, keep them coming. Please keep approving them because we need more. And then just the amount of change in the time frame, right? Because this is going to take about 2 years to build out the first phase of this whole development. And you're going to see, in fact, we had some numbers given to us, and we're going to be producing some economic dashboards. We need construction to go for a certain period of time so we can track that information. Parish numbers are saying we're actually over 25% in tax collection. The city of Boyce is over 250% tax collections just in the last quarter. And we've only been in construction for 5 months. So there is a huge benefit, and it's just about positioning your community, making sure that we have the right processes in place, the ordinances in place, because we know growth is going to come as a result of it.
Is there anything that the city needs to do that it hasn't done?
Is the first part.
Is there anything the city needs to do that it hasn't done?
Well, I'm constantly advising, we always need to do temperature checks, right? When's the last time that we looked at our codes and ordinances? What does it look like for small business permitting? Because a lot of small businesses, they follow these kinds of developments. Do you have the ability to act quickly? Do you have the ability to shepherd small businesses, startups through your process without a lot of regulatory hindrance? What do your code and ordinances look like for new housing development of all sorts, of all types? We need a diversification of housing stock. We need that in the entire central Louisiana region, not just in Alexandria. But because Alexandria and Pineville is the economic anchor, I've encouraged both administrations on both sides of the river to be proactive on that front because it's coming. And now we have an opportunity. So can you welcome investment at the speed of business? That's the question.
Okay. Yeah.
Mr. Masingill,
Yes, sir.
I was reading the noting where you said we needed welders, pipe fitters, and trade workers, along with the community college. I know LSUA is getting ready to engulf in a large nursing school to help along the way. The $3.2 billion at the data center with the $91,000 a year income. What would be the qualifications for those persons at 91,000, and how many people are expected to be able to attain that?
So about 200 of those positions will be rated with those kind of classifications. And when I tell you master plumbers, electrician, those are the positions we're talking about. And those positions will be part of that 91,000 that they'll have an opportunity to earn. And they are mandated to do that because of the arrangement and the project and the clawbacks that we have as a part of the economic development package.
And just one other thing, with the return of United, so we have Delta United and American. Is that
Yes.
you get in?
Oh, that's
People in and out much better.
absolutely. That's a huge positive for the entire region. We applaud the England Economic Development and Industrial District. They serve as the Industrial Development Authority for all of Rapides Parish, including the city of Alexandria. We work with them very closely. They are a key partner in the Coca-Cola project. They're a key partner in the data center project, and that's a good thing. So bring us more. Having more options, more flights, more opportunities creates more synergies and more opportunities for business.
All right, sir. Any other questions?
I don't have a question, but I want to thank you, Mr. Chris, for having an open door policy. You have always invited me to your meetings and to share with the projects that you have done. And I want to thank you for that. And you have a wonderful partner, Ms. Green, that is super dynamic. So we appreciate you, and we hope that you continue to inform us on all the projects that you have.
Thank you, Councilwoman
Another
Perry.
question,
Appreciate
another
it.
question.
Yes, sir.
You use the phrase labor participation. What does that mean?
So good question. So it used to be the unemployment rate.
Okay.
For decades, we would follow the unemployment rate, and it's still important. But what we've recognized now in the new economy, it's not the unemployment rate. It is the labor participation rate, because it tells us the number of individuals that are either looking for a job or are employed. So there is a whole subset of individuals for a lot of good reasons. Most of the time it's transportation and childcare. It could be some educational, there could be some other, there could be some health related. There are a small subset of that have to be on the sidelines for some legitimate reasons. But what we're finding when we're studying this issue, it really is transportation and childcare are the two biggest impediments for individuals getting back into the workforce. And for us, it's the raw numbers. It's the individuals that we have to recruit to go to work in one of our businesses.
So is it transportation in Alexandria or just in general transportation?
It's in general. That's usually across the board. When you dive into it, that barrier is across the board. And we're finding that all over. It's not just an Alexandria issue. It's a statewide issue, because when you are interviewing, when you're looking and when you're investigating, when you're looking at the research, the two biggest impediments for people not getting into the workforce is transportation and childcare.
And childcare is very important because we want births.
It's critical.
We need births. Yeah.
If I was Elon Musk for a day, I'd take all that money and I'd put it into childcare. It'd be my number one investment.
All right.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you all very much. Please call on me anytime.
We'll do. Appreciate you greatly.
Absolutely.
Item 2, to hear a quarterly report from the administration on minority contracts and permits. Mr. Caffrey, I received this report. Are you going to be the person to speak on this, Mr. Johnson, or no one? Or anyone, I'm sorry.
Well, hello, and good afternoon, Councilman. I mean, we can answer questions. Attorney Billings is here as well. We can answer questions that you may have about the report you received.
Mr. Fowler or Mr. Jones?
All right.
We got so late into this, okay, why don't we lay it off for 2 weeks?
Yeah, well, I know one thing. You've given us this chart and we can't really see it.
So we sent that to you prior to the printed version digitally so that you could actually examine it.
Yeah.
Well, we've had people show up today to ask questions or talk about it. My main concern is Mr. Goins and Mr. Caffrey, is the permitting process. And tell me if I'm wrong. I've had builders, people want to tear down houses. We're told to get a permit, they had to go out of town to tear down buildings to get permits from Alexandria.
So Mr. Green, the permitting question is not relevant to the report that we provided. That would be a separate matter that we could actually research and answer for you at a later date.
Okay, well, my initial request was to receive report on minority contracts and permits. So
we don't classify permits in that manner. They are classified relative to the source of work that the individuals would be doing, whether it's commercial permitting, whether it's residential. It is not classified in relation to race.
It's just classified into just permits.
It's permits, that's correct. And so if there was a specific question relative to those permits, we would be able to research that and get that information back to you, which we would do now.
okay, so
All right.
committee, if we delay this 2 weeks, Mr. Caffrey, will we get a detailed?
If you would send me a specific request relative to what the information is that you're asking us to provide, if that information is available or exists, then we will give you an answer, yes. And you would probably have it prior to.
But tell you what, to put a fine point on that, I know that there's some people here who have some questions. Do you have any questions, Mr. Bryce?
I have a question on permit.
Okay, all right. Well, we're dealing with,
We're dealing with,
Okay.
Deal with permits in general, we got so
Yeah.
many different kinds of permits
Yeah.
that we issue. Probably 200-300, I would imagine.
well, my focus was just on minority
Well, it's
contract.
not written down.
Yeah, okay.
ma'am, what we would do is come back to your situation, and if we don't get to it today, I'll meet with you after the meeting to take down your concern.
All right.
Okay?
Yep.
I'm sorry.
Question in the back? Yeah.
Good afternoon. My name is Richard Horton. I'm just the new chairperson for the Mid-Louisiana Regional Chamber of Commerce. And one of the things that we were looking for, because I have not yet seen it, is reporting of contracts or vendor contracts related to services provided to the city of Alexandria. And that percentage is based on the a fee program. And do we have a reporting on that?
Well, we have a report, Mr. Horton, but I don't really understand it. So I would need for someone for the administration to interpret for me. But
And that's the same thing I'm asking, because there's certain guidelines that are there. Now, understand this. It's not that I represent a lot of small businesses within the community, and they're looking forward to, and they're not reliant upon the city for the contracts, but they would like to know if there's opportunities for them to get there,
Okay,
to receive contracts.
we agree with you.
Because of the process that has been going on prior to today, they've been discouraged not to even apply
Okay.
or not to even participate.
All right.
They're discouraged because of how the process takes place. When they apply and everything, they go through a runaround, like we're saying, about as far as licensing and stuff like that. The insurances, because they'll get the insurance that required, then they have something additional comes up. So instead of when they come in there and make the application, and someone they bring the information that they read through the application process and they bring it, then there's additional things added to it. But they're not walked through that process, what they're missing. But they get walked through the application process. But when they get there and put the application in, there's always additional things on there.
Are these folks aware of the capacity building programs? I know you've been to a few.
Yes, and that's even in capacity building programs. Because a lot of times stuff we're looking at maybe vendors, applications for getting certain smaller contracts, which are $30,000 or less. Even in that process, it becomes a hassle for them, making that come through that process. So they get discouraged. They say, well, I don't even want to deal with it. But they don't have to, but it's nice to have and nice to be available on it. Even in the contracts, and it mentions on the RFP contracts, it mentions about going to the diversity site and looking up and contacting different agencies such as Louisiana Central, which is at one time, but on the site it says one thing, but the name of the business has also changed. They don't have Mid-Louisiana Regional Chamber of Commerce listed on there, and many of the other businesses that are economic development entities that they can contact to find out about who's available as minorities. Those things have not been updated on that website. And so it becomes discouraging to know that, okay, we're supposed to look here to find, but those sites are not available. Those links are not available. And so we're looking forward to improving on that. And hopefully we'll get some changes and some adjustments and stuff, and hopefully have some more conversation with the diversity. Now, diversity, as we all know, it puts numbers as far as what the city is required to do, but we don't really want to look at what required numbers are, because that's a limitation. So we don't want to look at that. Just say we're just small businesses. We would like to have opportunity and get an opportunity to surpass any type of being discouraged going forward and trying to even obtaining certain things. Like I said, ordinance goals and stuff like that. Knowing we don't even look at that ordinance goals. We want to look at it's even across the board for everyone to have the opportunity. If you're coming about to the city, and you're a legitimate business, you have your LLC, you have your insurance, everything's in place, you have proper accounting, you're paying your taxes and everything. We want to make sure that they're not limited by saying, oh, we're only required to have 10%. So because of that, we've already met that criteria, and then, you're not getting that opportunity. So we don't like the limitations related to that. We want to be able to apply for opportunities either through justice service contracts, which are $30,000 or less, or even RFPs. And that's what matters the most. It's the opportunity and not running across those roadblocks. And if a person does come there and they may be missing something on their application, don't just say, well, you don't have this on your application, and leave them sitting blank. help them through that process of ensuring that that application is complete and that thing that they're missing, help them and guide them through that next step of making sure that that part is completed. That's what we're looking forward to as small businesses. So,
Mr. Harden,
yes, sir.
could you stick around after the meeting? I got a question for you.
Yes. And I know sometimes, you hear the contracts about, lawn service and stuff. I know it's something I always talk about. And I know the contracts come out about lawn service, and a lot of people that have lawn services and stuff, they don't worry about it. They have their yards, they do. So they're not looking for anything more than that. They're not looking to deal with, all the stuff with contract jargon and stuff like that. They just want to cut some yards. But we do have a couple that just recently came up that do lawn service. They are looking to go further and, get contracts and stuff. So we want to make sure that pathway is clear for them going forward, and we'll be able to assist them, and also the city also assist them in any type of roadblocks they may come across or any shortages they may have to assist them to, get over that hurdle.
Thank you, Mr. Horton.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, it is.
Jules.
Yes, I'm sorry, yes.
Can I ask Mr. Horton something?
Okay.
Miss,
Madam
is
President?
it okay if I?
Yeah.
So, Mr. Horton, I just wanted to know, do you be aware when contractors come in, minority contractors come in and make a bid through the city?
Yes, ma'am. I follow what's going on with the contracts and stuff
Oh.
that's happening.
Can
Yes,
you
ma'am.
please not put that,
Can you put it over here?
don't block.
Yeah, we're aware of the RFPs that
Thank
come out and stuff and everything, and but not all of the vendor stuff that they remember. They had the vendor card that was out, and the mayor pulled back all the cards and stuff like that. Even those just local purchases of certain items that are small item, $10,000, maybe $5,000, $2,000 for supplies of stuff, toilet paper and stuff like that.
So can you make us aware, send us an email when you have someone that actually is
Every
going?
time.
Well,
I
you're trying.
can't do that because there's a reporting system through the PEAK program that each division head is supposed to be doing
Uh-huh.
on the purchases that they make, local purchases that they make,
Mhm.
and they're supposed to be reporting to you guys on that. So you should get that awareness of that reporting. There's
Okay,
supposed to be a monthly reporting on that.
okay,
So that would be something
No.
that you would give to us and you would review yourself. So,
okay.
but we haven't yet. We're supposed to get that report. We still haven't got it. And so, like I said, that's sometimes discouraging when you don't get that. But there's certain things, toilet paper inside the building. I know suppliers that all day long supply toilet paper, cleaning supplies and stuff like that all day long.
Okay.
And air fresheners and stuff, but
Okay.
they don't get that opportunity and I understand it, because when you have a certain supplier, you kind of stick with that person because that's who you want.
Right,
But
right.
yet there are more small businesses and opportunities out there that people want to grow and give them an opportunity.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Larkin, what are you going to ask?
I want to know, is Mr. Caffrey going to make a presentation, or how are we going to do this?
If you have questions about the report, Mr. O'Brien, you can ask those questions, we can answer.
Okay, well, I'm gonna ask an open-ended one. What did you give me? What is this?
This is the report that the council has requested, that is required by the ordinance for us to provide. It gives you a synopsis of the status of where we are. It also gives you a breakdown of the costs of the spend that we have made in those various departments and areas across the city. If you look at the
Can't
first
see it.
page, it gives you
No, I
the
can't see
blown
it.
up in the chart that you see across the room in front of you, and it gives you a description of the ordinance's goals, the 2025 annual and 2026 quarterly report.
Is there any way we can get this blown up?
We can provide you with a blown up copy. Yes, sir.
Really small.
So, Mr. Carefree,
I can't even. what
in
am
a
I-
quarterly report, and I'm reading 2025, 15.38. Now, this is the first time I've requested a quarterly report that we should be getting. A quarterly report is every 4 months, so this should be January, February, March, and April. We're now in August. To my knowledge, the administration has not, I did say my knowledge, send down a quarterly report for the past 4 months until I requested this information today. Do we have to request this from you all, or will y'all automatically send it since the cities really wants to know what's going on with the diversity inclusion in this area, in the city?
We will send a report down anytime the council requests it.
So once before in council meeting, we did request one on every quarter. Again, I hadn't received one. I may be the only one that missed it in my email, which is possible. I don't know about the other 6 council persons, but we did request a total report each quarter, Ms. Perry. And did you all receive one for last quarter? This is the first time you've seen one before me. Am I the only one not receiving it?
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
You're not.
If you
And- and
can, we'll read it.
I also asked for documentation too.
Okay, well, that seems to be a factor that communications is faltering between the administration and the council on their request for information that is needed to be given to the citizens for our digestion to be able to relate to the citizens. So if you all could do this on a standard basis, it would be greatly appreciated, sir.
Yes, sir.
Any other thing on this? I heard someone.
Ms. West, you have something to say?
I just have a few comments. So to address Mr. Horton, this report is, so I work on this program, and this is something what we meet with the departments and report to the division heads. It was never required to bring it to a full report to
Council.
the council. And previously, when I do recall you requesting, I was out with the passing of my mother.
I understand.
And so for this particular program, when you were talking about the processing, I don't understand the issue with vendors being able to participate, because what we're talking about here, we request information from vendors consistently, every department. We get at least 3 quotes for every purchase. And we always try to get at least one of those quotes from a minority vendor. We're not going to say just because a minority vendor is giving a quote, we're going to go with them. We still have to be fiscally responsible, and they have to be the best quote. So that I just wanted to let you guys know that.
Can you
Thank you.
explain this report to us?
So every department is listed on this side,
Okay,
and then each column, so it's minority, small business, and women and minority-owned businesses are in the other columns. And then there's a total at the end, letting you know the exact percentage for each department. And at the bottom is the total percentage for the entire city.
so you put together this chart.
No, the finance division puts together that chart.
But before you go there, can this print in the future?
Be larger.
We can see it, read it.
It,
I'm
it,
here blind, and I promise you, this small print, I need a magnifying.
it was emailed in a PDF version, so on the computer you can zoom in, you can print it larger, zoom
But
on.
when you print it, it still looks the same.
It still comes out small, sir.
When you go to the print view, you can increase the percentage to roughly 130, 140, and it'll fill up the entire page. Yes, sir. That's why I sent it in a PDF version.
Okay.
All right, Mr. Martin, go ahead, sir.
No, I was just going to explain, if you look across the top, you'll see the labelings. It's minority, small business, women, minority, and then blank, as if someone didn't fill out anything. And then over to the right, whenever you see minority, that is a sum of minority and women minority. And when you see the column that says women, that is a sum of women business and women minority. When you're looking across the top, and towards the bottom right of the page, the highlighted section is the percentages for the entire year, with minority for the 2025 calendar year being 15.38%, and the women being 8.32%. And then for quarter one of this calendar year, you have minority at 13.36%, and you have women business at 7.36% of total spending.
Mr. Green,
Yes,
I would like for these numbers to be blown up so that the people here can see them. And I can see them so that You know, this discussion can be
So
meaningful.
the board here,
It's hard to read, and I understand you're saying by blowing it up. I have a computer whiz at home. I'll have her to do it for me now, because I promised when I got this morning at 7:30, I was looking like, what's the Sam H is this?
yes, and in the email too, I'm not sure if they forwarded y'all the email, but
They did.
Donna and Emily have the
But,
email
yeah,
of the PDF.
so-
And they tried blowing it up and they weren't able to do so. Is that correct, Ms. Em? I don't want to put words in your mouth now.
That's correct,
Okay.
but this would be an Adobe and we don't really have access to it.
So if the information going to be presented to us, it must be legible and large enough for us to read it and to consume it. And it would be, in the future, we would be greatly appreciative. I would be, because I'm, Bibles and everything trying to. So in the future, when you do your reports, we would greatly appreciate it. You would help us to understand what you're presenting to us to digest.
Okay, and the totals are blown up on this graph here too, for the
Right.
totals that I just stated, for the year and for the quarter one of this year.
All right.
Okay.
I can applaud you for separating out what's minority, what's not minority. But that's what I was saying, that we don't want to be identified as minority, women minority and stuff like that. Don't want that type of identification on there. Then you're looking at percentages and limitations. Okay. Now, I would like to see it where, just say where your spending is on a particular product, and then look at your vendors list and see if that spending is equal among all the vendors that for that particular product versus minorities, women minorities, and all this stuff like that. Don't separate like that. Just do it based by, these are small businesses that would like to provide services to the city of Alexandria, and that are these services being spread out amongst everyone? Okay, versus, I know you have to get the best price and stuff like that, and I understand the pricing and everything like that is a concern. Okay, but at the same time, have those conversations with those other vendors. So, hey, right now your pricing is not at that point, at the price point that we need you to be at. And can you make that adjustment? That's what I'm saying about them getting discouraged when they don't constantly put in for something, not getting it, and then not being explained as to what is hampering or stopping them from being a competitor in that space. And I know a lot of times you have larger companies, they can do better price points. Walmart does better price points than most people around here, right? But people want to get small businesses going out of business because Walmart's price points. But giving that small business an opportunity to be able to compete by at least letting them know where they are in that space, and not necessarily by, as I always say, it's not about the race thing. It's not about that. It's about a small business trying to come up and become a larger business. And that's what we're talking about, capacity and stuff. Do they have the capacity to do it? And they can't gain that capacity if they're not getting anything to build on. And that's what helps them get their capacity. And maybe they can reach out to other suppliers instead of trying to go to the same supplier to get the better price points on the supplies. That way they can give better price points on the sale. So that's where I'm looking for the assistance with this. Thank you.
And to touch on that, this report is all compiled after the fact, so it's not a beforehand trying to build a certain thing. Like Stacy said, we purposely do the three quote system. So we try to make sure one of our quotes, if it's not the amount which needs a bid, we purposely do a 3-quote, try to make sure one of the quotes is from a minority vendor, which I know, Mr. Price, we probably annoy him with the amount of quotes we try to get. But yeah, this is all taken after the fact. So, any RFP, any bid, anything like that, we accept. We encourage all applications. But as far as this reporting goes, this is all after the fact. Just taking the data, showing you where we spent it, and by ordinance, we are supposed to. And this is us providing it. Thank you.
All right. Committee, anybody else?
There's another gentleman in the back.
Oh, Mr. Wood, yes, sir.
Speak for 1 second.
Yes.
Minority stuff. When Mr. Horton was ending there, it kind of made me want to go ahead and get up. But I had asked I'm Stephen Williams. I'm a local contractor here, does demolition and other things in the community. I had asked Ms. Perry and Mr. Green there. I do demolition work. 6 years ago, they used to bid to work out. Lowest bidder got it. They went to a rotating list. I was tearing down houses. So in order to get on the rotating list, they say I needed insurance and license and all that. So I went and got insurance, license, and all of that. The original contract for the first 3 years said that you needed 2 years demolition experience, which I had. I've been tearing down houses for private individuals. The second term of the third year said that I needed 2 years demolition with a public entity. So what Ms. Shirley explained to me is that I needed to have 2 houses tore down from a public entity, getting paid through a public entity, because the houses get tore down the same inspector, same everything. Same inspector that does the stuff comes to inspect my stuff. But I don't get paid through a public. So I asked her, how can I get opportunity if you don't give me one? She said, I need to go out and come back. So if I'm a local here and I spend all my money here and I do the same thing just like any other demolition, I got all the credentials, but I can't get opportunity. I'm not asking for a handout. I'm just asking for opportunity to be able to get on the demolition list. And so that goes a little further. I buy property. I try to keep the neighborhood up. I own a center that I'm trying to fund. If I would get an opportunity at making some money through the city, through the demolition, I could do other things to help the community. I could help the crime with the children and stuff on different things. So I'm not asking for any handout. I'm just asking for opportunity in what I'm doing and what I do contracting in.
Okay. All right. Sir, I know your face. What's your name?
Stephen Williams.
Stephen.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Shortly. Yes, we're coming. Yes, go ahead.
Thank you, Steve.
Yes, sir.
All
My name is Freddie Price, and my name was invoked a minute ago about getting bids. Executive Order 2009 is the ordinance that this council approved. And I have been talking about implementation. The programs and in that executive order, if they are carried out, then we minority businesses will see a benefit of those executive orders and what's in their executive order. Council knows about it, administration knows about it. And what we don't see and what we're hearing is there's not the proof that it's actually being done. Ms. Stacy, I know her, Mr. Caffrey, Mr. Goins. We've gone to committees, we've gone to workshops. There was one that was been done in this past year about educating minority businesses on how to do business with the city. There's supposed to be a vendor agreement, a vendor listing of all vendors. That's supposed to be able to be there. The mayor himself stood here and said that on the website, on the city website, you right, minority business will be able to go, business will be able to go to that website, see what the city is buying, and see if they're available. Do they have the capacity to produce what the city is buying? In the executive order itself, it talks about being able to help minorities, if they don't have the capacity, to be able to get the capacity, that the city will aid minority businesses to do that. And I'm looking at your sign there that was produced 2005. That's not a part of what the ordinance says. Those are not the numbers. So I don't know where those numbers come from. They're not the numbers that are in the ordinance, unless the ordinance was amended. And I don't think it has been amended. So what I'd like to see is, as you said, Mr. Green, it is a requirement in that ordinance that the city will produce a report on a quarterly basis. You don't have to ask for it. It's in the ordinance. It's spelled out in the ordinance what the requirements are. The city is supposed to be working with all of their departments to get those numbers, the reports of who they're doing business with. And it says that they don't do it right, they may be subject to disciplinary action. All of that is in the 2009 executive order, which the mayor says he helped write and did write. So I sit here and my name was called. I was quiet, but I want to let you know that I've been watching this for a long time. And you, the city council, is not getting the information that you need in order to see that what's in the ordinance is being carried out for businesses that are in there. I hear Mr. Horton talks about, don't talk about numbers and labels. It's in the ordinance. The mayor wrote the ordinance. And we expect, I'd like to see the city and the council hold the administration to carrying out the ordinance. If it's implemented correctly, then businesses like mine, and just like the gentleman says, we're not asking for a handout. We're not asking for a favor. The ordinance is already there. Implement the ordinance. That's what I'm asking you all to do.
All right,
Thank you.
thank you.
Mr. Price.
Mr. Green.
Yes.
To address a couple of things. So there will be an RFP that will go out next week relative to the rotation of demolition contractors for the city of Alexandria. That information is available through the Community Development Office, which is part of the Planning Division. But we will make sure that that information is put out so individuals will know that. Secondly, with regard to the information contained in the display that you see in the room, those numbers are directly from the ordinance in relation to the percentages. If you would note that it is 10% for minority-owned businesses and 10% for women-owned businesses. Internally, we've been operating with a 15% for minority-owned businesses and 7% for women-owned businesses. In 2025, the annual percentage was 15.38% for minority-owned businesses and 8.32% for women-owned businesses. And in the first quarter of 2026, it was 13.36% for minority-owned businesses, which was roughly a spend of $797,000. And for women-owned businesses, it was 7.36%. So that is in line with regard to the ordinance that has been established. There is a monthly report, there's a quarterly reporting process, as Ms. West just pointed out, and also as Mr. Carpenter pointed out, that's been conducted with our departments providing that information so that we can make sure that these numbers are accurate. In regards to anyone that is seeking to do business with the city of Alexandria, there is a process that is in place for that. They can reach out through our purchasing division, which is housed under our purchasing department, which is housed under our finance division, and they can walk through that particular process. The goods and services, and it should be noted that these are discretionary dollars. So the dollars that we're talking about and discussing are dollars that we decide what it is that we're going to purchase. If we're purchasing pens, those are discretionary dollars. We're purchasing paper, discretionary dollars. And so we normally have a 3-quote system that is in place for purchase over a certain amount or purchases of a certain amount, or any purchase, should I say. And you get those particular 3 quotes. It is the best quote that we go with, that we're required to go with regard to that. And so that is the practice that we have in place at this point in time.
All right, Mr.
I got a question.
Caffrey,
I got a question about that, if you don't mind, sir.
go ahead, sir.
Mr. Caffrey, for fiscal year Q1 for 2026, minority-owned business percentage is 13.36%, correct? Yes, sir. All right. Are any workers or executive staff members included in that number?
Yes, sir. That does not include our staff. That would be non-discretionary spending as it relates to the budget total.
Okay.
These are just purchases and things. That does not include staff or fringe benefits or anything like that.
All right,
Just products.
so that's,
It also doesn't include items that you have to bid on or things that you have to bid on, jobs that you have to bid on as well. This is only discretionary purchasing of the city.
okay, and the same applies for 7.36%
That's
for women-owned. Okay, so no,
No
payroll.
payroll, no fringe, none.
okay, okay,
I have a question.
all right.
I mean, I'm not on committee, so I
Go ahead, go ahead.
So, Mr. Caffrey, if I were to come and ask you to pull a contract, which is 13 point, let's say the 13.3%, that's minority, and you're gonna have it If I want to see it, I can see it, and I can see that.
You can see the purchases that we spent, the companies or entities that we spent that money with regard to those discretionary purchases, yes.
Okay.
Any other questions? All right, Mr. Caffrey, we look in the future for getting those timely quarterly reports from the administration.
Well, and let me clarify, you are requesting that the administration provide the council with a quarterly report for AFI, that is correct?
Correct,
Based upon the information that you see before you now.
correct.
All right.
And,
But what about?
and we're going to come back.
Okay.
I'm going to resubmit in proper language the information on permits, where we'll get a clarity on that. Okay? Any other questions, committee?
I have a question. Don't you guys do monthly reporting of some sort? Or is it just all quarterly reporting?
I do monthly meetings.
Monthly meetings?
Quarterly is the,
And that's what the ordinance says.
so monthly I meet with the partners and I talk to them about any issues they may be having.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right.
Monthly, I meet with the departments and talk to them about how we can increase their numbers, any issues they may be having with reaching out to vendors or reaching contractors who may be able to help with a certain thing, or if they're just having, a lot of times, we went to this 3-quote system and they were used to using who they wanted to use. So it was encouraging them to continue with the system. It's a process.
Break old habits.
Yes. And so we meet with them, we talk about that, and then quarterly, we meet with the divisions.
All right. So the only way for us to get information is just every quarter. We would not get everything on a monthly basis.
We don't run the reports monthly, no.
Okay, all right.
That's it. Economic Workforce Development Planning is adjourned. Thank you kindly for all of your participation and your time. Madam President, I need to take it.
The regular city council meeting is actually starting about 37 minutes late. Looked like committee went over about 38 minutes. It should be kicking off here shortly. It looked like the council members are coming up. As you guys could hear, the main two discussions here in committee was number one, an update by Louisiana Central from Chris. And it seems like there was a lot of questions about, the purchasing and procurement process within the city here in the committee meeting. But if you guys just stand by and hang on in there, the regular city council meeting should be going live here shortly. We're going to stay with them. As soon as the full body kicks off, the sound will come through automatically. Thank you guys for hanging in there with us this evening. We did pose a question out there. I think one of the big topics that's going to be on the city council agenda tonight is one for police recruitment and different things of that nature. Many people have questions. I know 3.5 years ago, the city of Alexandria cut off monthly reports on crime in the community. And so it's been kind of hard to track that. The other big question that a lot of residents have here in the city of Alexandria is, number one, just what the shortage of Alexandria police officers look like. So hopefully we'll have some councilmen, councilwomen who may ask that question when that agenda item comes up. But if you guys don't feel, if you would kind of help us engage and just help us start the dialogue, and one of the big things that we have is, number one, we over here at UrbanCast, number one, we don't have no issues with the Alexandria Police Department, unlike what some people try to describe. But on the same token, we know that our officers are working in a situation where they're understaffed and they're putting in tons of overtime hours and different things of that nature. So it is critical that we get more officers hired. But the question is that a lot of people are having out there is, do they feel safe here in the city of Alexandria? Is the city's administration and the council given the police department adequate resources to get these additional officers hired? A lot of times we hear the comment, people don't want to become police officers, but when you go and you look at right over in Pineville, right at the Rapides Parish Sheriff's Office, those particular policing bodies are adequately staffed. So hopefully we'll get some answers tonight as the council meeting continues. Again, thank you guys for sticking in there with us.
SpongeBob SquarePants, SpongeBob SquarePants,
SquarePants.
SquarePants. The Alexandria City Council meeting is called to order Tuesday, August 25th, 2026. Alexandria City Council meeting and council committee meetings are broadcast live and may be viewed live by the public on Optum Cable Channel 4. A rebroadcast may be viewed on Optum Cable Channel 4 in the City of Alexandria website. We're going to have the invocation by Minister June Edison, and we're going to have the Pledge of Allegiance by Councilman Lombardine.
Heavenly Father, I don't want to stand here and just say words, but I come praying to you, asking you in the name of Jesus, God, give wisdom in this room. let counsel be wise, Father. And God, let all decisions be made with clear hearts, clear heads, honest agendas, Father. And God, move this city indeed forward and together. So I pray now for this city. I pray for all departments in this building. And certainly I pray for the administration in this council. So I ask you to move us forward in decision-making, in motives, in opportunities, and just Lord, enlarge and increase this city for the good. Amen. Amen.
Please face flag.
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can you do roll call, please?
Mr. Johnson?
Here.
Ms. Belter? Here. Mr. Green?
Present.
Mr. Fowler?
Here.
Mr. Valor?
Here.
Ms. Lovergang?
Here.
Ms. Perry?
Here.
Madam President, you have a quorum.
Approval of the minutes taken from a regular meeting held on August 11. I need a motion and a second.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Powell and second by Councilman Ballard. Any public comments? Your public comments, what section of the written minutes you would like to make a comment on? If it is not in the written minutes, there will not be any discussion or comments, only what is in the minutes. If you have any questions pertaining to any items on the agenda, please contact administration before or after the meeting. Public comments, discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. So tonight, we're going to recognize Ash Theater Troupe, the SpongeBob SquarePants. If we can get the representative or get one individual to come and tell us about SpongeBob and all the activities that's going on with this theater.
Okay. My name is Melissa Hunter. I am the director of this troupe, Troop 731. And we represent Alexandria Senior High's thespian troupe. We have traveled to Indiana twice in the last 2 years to the International Thespian Festival, and twice in the last 2 years we have been asked to perform on the main stage in front of the highest caliber of talent in terms of high school theater in our country. And it is such an immense honor. The first time we were part of a group, but last summer, or this past June rather, we were our whole production was chosen to perform SpongeBob the musical on the main stage to 2 sold-out performances of 1,400 attendees each.
Wow.
And we're so honored. It's been a long road, right? We started working on that production last fall. We made it a point to build our entire set, props, costumes, out of recycled materials. So we felt very strongly that we were representing the story in a really moving and exciting way. And we really, I think we did Louisiana proud. We're a very hardworking troupe, and it's paying off because now with all of this attention, the country is taking notice. We have recently been asked to perform a pilot version of a new musical. So we will be the first high school to perform the high school version of this musical, The Noteworthy Life of Howard Barnes. So if you're interested in that, please come check it out in January. And we also were recently picked to perform on a Broadway stage with Broadway stars in a production of a concert version of The Prince of Egypt. So we're very honored to be included in that. And these kids have been working so hard for that. If you would like to support their journey to New York to make that happen, I know that that would be greatly appreciated. And there are ways to sponsor through our website, ashtheater.net. and anything would help us. We're representing Alexandria and representing Ash, and I think we're the only Louisiana school attending the Prince of Egypt. So we want to make that a really special experience for our students. So anything, even just giving us the time of day today goes a long way to support these kids and all the work they do.
Are you all in your auditorium now?
Not yet.
Okay.
We'll be there hopefully in a couple of weeks. But I gotta look at it. So.
It's amazing the school has done as well as it has with the complication they had for the years. Congratulate y'all for the hard work you put in to make it a success.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Well, thank you, guys. We wish you much success when you go to do the Prince of Egypt. Boy, that won't be nothing like SpongeBob, though.
I don't be doing that stuff.
Yeah, there won't be nothing like SpongeBob, but also, just like she said, they will be taking donations, and you can go to the website at ASH, correct?
ashtheater.net or through the RPSB ASH page.
Okay, so y'all make it happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Let me introduce himself.
We're gonna stand and ask you to introduce yourselves.
What character you guys play?
Okay. Introduce himself.
Hi, my name is Lorelai Bolin and I played SpongeBob SquarePants.
Oh, that's SpongeBob.
Hi, my name is Gabe Scales, and I played Patchy the Pirate and Larry the Lobster.
Oh.
Hi, my name is James Kukua, and I played Patrick Starr.
Hi, my name is Trinity Wagner, and I played Mrs. Puff.
Hi, my name is Trinity Sanders and I played an ensemble.
Hi, my name is Lena Wynn, and I also played ensemble.
My name is Shamar Cornell, and I played Sheldon J. Plankton.
My name is Abigail Ringholm, and I played ensemble. Hi, my name is Alyssa Skipper, and I played Electric Skate 2. Hi, my name is Andrew Wynn, and I was the stage manager.
Oh.
Hi, my name is Emma McCartney and I was in the ensemble.
Hi, my name is Brenda Douglas, and I was also in the ensemble. Tech crew. Hi, my name is Loki Brooks, and I was also part of Tech crew.
Great. May I ask by a show of hands, who's seniors? Any seniors?
Uh-oh.
All right.
Well, wish you guys all the luck, and come back and tell us about
Parents?
the Prince of Egypt.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Do a little flash mob out there. Do a little flash mob for us.
A flash mob?
They wanted a picture. Can y'all just stand right here and we can just stand up so they can get the picture? Well, why y'all getting out the picture?
Did one of y'all say you were Sandy or did I miss it?
Oh, you did.
Oh, man, okay.
Y'all ready? 1, 2, 3.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So much.
You're welcome.
Congratulations.
Oh, Lord, I'm hot.
Break a leg.
Okay, consent calendar.
G, consent calendar. Number 1, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for Cheetah Park Pavilion door replacement. Number 2, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for Jackson Street gas main replacement. Number 3, introduction of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the proposals received for electric transmission and distribution emergency services.
A motion, please.
Move.
And a second.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Johnson. Any items to the committee?
Age resolution. Number 4, resolution authorizing advertisement for bids for brass fitting.
Motion, please.
Move.
Motion by Councilman Ballard, second by Councilman Fowler. Public comments, all in discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 5, a resolution authorizing advertisement for bid for 47-foot sheave height hydraulic digger deck truck.
Motion, please. Motion by Councilman
Second.
Fowler, second by Councilman Ballard. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 6, resolution authorizing advertisement for bids for a 4-inch hydraulic drive submergible pump.
Motion, please. Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Johnson. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 7, a resolution to co-sponsor the YWCA Girls on the Run Central Louisiana Fall 2026 5K race in November 2026.
Motion, please. Motion by Councilman Ballard, second by Councilwoman Felter. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 8, resolution to co-sponsor the Junior League of Alexandria Find the Good Day Community Party on September the 17th, 2026 at a city facility.
Motion, please.
Move.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Ballard. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 9, a resolution setting a public hearing to be held on October the 6th, 2026, taking action on the cost of demolition of 21 structures and other costs.
Motion, please.
Move.
Motion by Councilman Ballard, second by Councilman Fowler. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
I, ordinances for final adoption, subject to public hearing. Number 10, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for extrication tools and battery chargers for the fire department.
A motion, please. Motion by Councilman
Second.
Fowler, second by Councilman Ballard. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 11, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to renew the existing contract with Solarscapes LLC for electric utility right-of-way maintenance.
Motion, please. Motion by Councilman
Second.
Johnson, second by Councilman Ballard. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 12, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to renew the existing contract with CBS Cleaning Services for janitorial services for the transit buses and passenger transit vans.
Motion, please. Motion by Councilman
Second.
Johnson, second by Councilman Ballard. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 13, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to enter into professional services agreement with Pan American Engineering LLC for engineering and PHMSA grant-related services.
Motion, please.
Move.
Motion by Councilman Ballard, second. Second by Councilwoman Felter. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 14, to consider final adoption of an ordinance amending the Alexandria Police Department's recruitment and retention policies and initiatives. Ordinance number 174, 2023, in accordance with resolution number 0435, 2023, providing for recruitment of post-certified officers.
Motion by Councilman
Second.
Fowler, second by Councilman Ballard. Public comments, discussion, all
Yes,
in,
ma'am.
I'm sorry.
Exactly how many, I don't know who's going to answer this from the administration. Exactly how many officers vacancies does the Alexandria PD have currently?
I don't have that information before me, Councilman. You'll note that we have hired more than 20 officers this year.
I note that someone chose to write in handwriting that we've all, 20 officers were hired more this year. How many officers were sworn officers as APD actually hired in 26, and how many retain employment today?
So officer means that that person has completed the process and gone through and been sworn. I can tell you now that our count total in the rank and file is 103. And then we also have active 8 through our community services officers group. And then there's another 42 total personnel that is within the confines of communications, jailers, school patrolmen, records personnel, and administrative staff.
And my next question is, I wrote these out before I came. What was the APD authorized strength and actual numbers of sworn officers at the beginning of 24, 25, and 26? Now, sir, how many officers have we have in 24? Where did we go to in 25? And where we stand totally now in 26?
I don't have those answers before me. I didn't know that those questions would be asked, but we can get you that information.
Repeat what you said.
And so the numbers I just gave you are for 26. 103 total sworn component, 8 with regard to CSOs, and then 42 with regard to support staff.
Question.
The $25,000 incentive available to the newly hired certified officers, will that go to the current APD officers received with retention incentive as well?
I'm not sure I understand your question.
The $25,000 that they're offering. Now, I know that they say they're gonna give it in increments, $1,250 each year. So what are we gonna do for the officers that are down on the police department?
So the council, the administration put forth a raise for the current officers just in the last year or so.
Yes.
And so we tried to raise their pay. They were at the highest in the area. I think right after that, I think it was the state police that came back 2 weeks later and gave a raise. And so, but we are at the top of the scale in regard to that.
If the officer receives the $12,500 payment for 1 year, but leaves before completing the 4-year commitment, is that officer required to repay any portion of the incentive?
I'm sure it is.
So I can't answer that question, Mr. Grant, because again, I'm not familiar with the entire breakdown of the incentive package, but I can give the answer.
Okay, I have a question. All right. The incentive pay will be paid in two $12,500 installments, the first being payable upon the officer's completion of 1 year of service, and the second being payable upon the officer's completion of the 3rd year of service over the 4th year. So kind of explain that to me, how that would work.
So they would have to complete 3 years, and then during the process of them working and serving in the 4th year, that is when that second payment would be made.
Okay, all right. And, okay, and will taxes be taken out of this money, or will it be straight? I just want to make sure.
Government wants that money.
I understand. All right, I'm just making sure.
We'll leave yours out and tell them.
I'm just asking. Okay.
You ready?
All right, I'm good. Thank you, Ms. Scafford.
That motion second? Yeah. Mr. Collins, Mr. Lord.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
No,
Oh, you're not through?
because I didn't get all my answers. He's gonna get back with me, and I'm not voting for something that I'm not told what we got going on.
Okay, motion carried, motion
So
carried.
it passed.
Number 15, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to renew a professional service agreement with Art Rapids for cleaning services at Franklin Hunter Gym and the Youth and Teen Center on Sylvester Street.
Motion, please.
Move.
Motion by Councilman Ballard, second by Councilman Fowler. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 16, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for single-phase pole mount. The administration is requesting to reject all bids, and they are going to re-advertise at a later date.
Second.
Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
Number 17, to consider final adoption of an ordinance authorizing the mayor to accept the low bid submitted for single-phase pad mount. The administration is requesting that this reject all bids and re-advertise at a later date.
Second.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Ballard. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
J, resolution public hearing, community development. Number 18, to continue a public hearing concerning the condemnation on the following structure: 2417 13th Street, Idella J. and Lennon Pearson, 2904 Cypress Street, NTP Runnable LLC, now no PHA, 3520 Queen Court, James William Weekoff, 1411 South Harvard Street, Lorona Doherty et al.
Okay. We'll call you.
A motion to open the public hearing.
Move.
Motion by Councilman Ballard, second by.
Okay, Michaela Jones with Community Development, 2417 13th Street. We're requesting condemnation.
Is anyone here from that resident?
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I've been making progress, man. I have a dumpster there. I only get paid once a month. And, this lady here came and took pictures and see my progress. Cause they had 2 houses over there. You know, and I called, when I came up here before y'all last time, I didn't know that it started that day. Cause I told y'all I only get paid once a month. And I'm doing the best that I can. And all I ask is for some help, to give me extension, please.
Okay.
What's
So,
the address yours?
2417 13th Street.
okay. So,
And while we only have
Yeah.
2 neighbors in the back, there's no houses in front. I stay on the side. Oh, wow.
all right. My
That was
question,
my parents' house.
all right, my question is, are you raising the house yourself? Are you demolishing it yourself? Or?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. And you started that process?
Yes, sir. I have been started, but I got beaten on down the road.
Okay.
You know, but now I got somebody to really help me that I trust. And they've been fair about it.
Miss, what does the house look like?
So it was 2 properties on it. The first house was torn down and the second one is in the process, but it is a lot of trash with a dumpster on the lot.
So.
But it has progress has been
She's got
made.
progress. She's
Progress
trying
has
to-
been made.
She's trying to do it.
Yes, she
Give
is.
give her benefit of the doubt. Yes.
Well, if you took down once, so you need some help on the second one, what you're saying?
Please,
Oh, yes.
You just-
60 days? 60 days?
please,
Yes, we got
Sure.
you. We got you.
thank y'all.
All
You're
right.
welcome.
Thank y'all.
We got you.
I appreciate
You're welcome.
you. God bless y'all.
You too.
I thank y'all so much.
Make sure you come up tomorrow and get your permit with Ms. Pat, okay? All right, make sure you can call, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome, just give me a call, okay?
Okay, thank
Yeah,
you.
motion, please.
Move.
Second.
Motion by everybody. Motion by Councilman Lawberdane, second by Councilman Johnson. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
2904 Cypress Street, we're requesting condemnation.
Do we have anyone from that address represented?
Second.
Moved by Councilman Felter, I'm sorry, Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Ballard. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
3520 Queens Court, we're requesting condemnation.
Do we have anyone from that address? Motion by Councilman
Second.
Fowler, second by Councilman Ballard. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried.
1411 South Harvard Street, we're requesting condemnation.
Do we have anyone from that address? Motion, please. Motion by Councilman Fowler,
Second.
second by Councilman Ballard. Discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. After the recommendation of the administration on each structure on the comment,
Motion second.
we need a motion.
And a second to close it.
Motion by Councilman Fowler, second by Councilman Ballard to close the public. Motion and second to close the public. Public comments, discussion, all in favor? Any opposed? Motion carried. Meeting is adjourned.
I think if you have.
Hi, this is Pastor Roger L. Green Sr., pastor of the Mount Zion Missionary Baptist Church. We're welcoming you to our worship services on Sunday morning. Sunday school begin at 8 a.m. Worship services begin at 9 a.m. Come and grow with us, a place of faith, family, and fellowship. We would love to have you. Come see us Sunday morning. We'll see you there. Be blessed.
Hey, did you know Long's Products is a family-owned janitorial supply with mops, brooms, trash bags, and they even have food service disposables, carry-out plates, and to-goes? Check us out.